And the overall new ISBD Pro is Tuna.
So guys, I have a box here, a really exciting box that I'm going to show you if I can lift it, because it's actually pretty heavy. Oh god! This is my box! So, what's inside? I have an amazing parcel here from ProDebut. Rice and grinds. This is the cream of rice that Dean and I are using. We have the chocolate brownie flavour, maple waffle flavour, brown sugar cinnamon flavour, which is Dean's favourite, this one, blueberry muffin, boom boom, coconut cream pie, creamy peanut butter, oh, I don't think I've had that one yet, and of course the unflavoured. Dean likes to have this one a lot with just like a little bit of cinnamon, and some more Tupperware. This is probably actually my favourite Tupperware. I just really like how it expands and little hole at the top to like let all the heat or air out. If you've literally just prepped your food, you can just lift that up and like all the steam will come out. So that is in my ProDebut parcel. Right, we are going to the gym, back in the car mount. Once again, feeling very zoomed in. I'm gonna have the window down. It's absolutely boiling here lately. I feel like I shouldn't complain about the weather, however, it's very warm and my car's aircon is actually pretty terrible. I don't actually think you can call it aircon. And I've also, because of how hot it is, and I didn't have a cold drink for the car. Oh yeah, I grabbed a Coke Zero from Mackie D's for my drive to the gym. I'm just seeing a client in person and going through her posing. And I needed a cold drink, you know, I needed one, but I've had Monsters today. How am I feeling at the moment? I definitely feel like my face has gotten leaner over the past week. My stomach as well, I think. I think I'm at that point now where I'm starting to come in a little bit quicker. For all those that know, there is a stage in prep that I shall refer to as the skinny fat stage. It is the worst stage of prep. It's when your physique's not really lean, and you're kind of soft, but you're also not fat, but you're flat, so you don't have any muscle definition because your diet's still really low. So basically you're not eating a lot and you don't look great. That's like a really crappy part of prep, but we all have to go through it. And I think once you get past that point, it's when the like faster changes start happening. For me, I think that's normally from the 6 weeks out point onwards. So when I'm 5 weeks out, 4 weeks out, that it all starts happening. You know, I'm probably in the skinny fat stage from, you know, 14 to 6 weeks out. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just how my body is. I'm also not someone that naturally looks very hard. I don't really have like a hard look to my physique. Maybe unless I pose, but you know, whenever people pose, you're gonna look harder. Naturally standing around, I don't really have one of those like harder muscular looks. So I feel like the skinny fat stage really does get to me. But we're all different and it's gonna get to other people as well. But once you get past that stage of prep, I think that's when it becomes even more enjoyable because you see all of the changes that your effort is making. Whereas in the skinny fat stage, you're making all of this effort and doing a lot and you can't see it yet. You're just like, what? So I feel like I finally got to that point, which is good. It's definitely helped the drive because, as you heard in my last video, I had really, really low energy levels. I mean, they're still low, but now that I see the changes, it's like pushing me on more. But one thing I haven't really spoken about is how I really feel, or how mentally challenging it's been going from figure and wellness classes into a bikini prep. I am not used to seeing my physique this small. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm a lot smaller and I was very much prepared for that, but now that the body fat's down and I see the difference of muscularity, I have kind of shocked myself how much I have morphed my physique so quickly. You know, people have asked me about it and said how I feel or what's it like. I think we need to remember that bodybuilding isn't just about gaining muscle. Okay, yes, the majority of the time it is. But if you choose a different class that requires a different look, a different level of condition, muscularity, bodybuilding is also, you know, competitive bodybuilding is adapting to that class's criteria. You can't just train how you want to train or get leaner and leaner and harder, because if the class criteria doesn't want you that hard and that lean, then you're bringing something that's not competitive. The main point of this year and this pro debut and the couple of shows that I'm doing afterwards is to get the feedback from the class, see how I fit in it at this current standpoint, and then make the changes going forward. I just need to present myself in this class now. Salute the magpie, it's always got to do it, I can't not. Yeah, it has been challenging seeing my physique at times. Only at times, not all the time. So I know I'm still progressing, that's the thing. Just because I have less muscle and I'm less conditioned doesn't mean I'm not progressing. I'm progressing in a different class. I've made a different choice and I think my physique suits it a lot more, as in my structure and everything, and posing with Amanda. There's still certain things of my physique I really don't like, but I also know that some of those changes are going to be through an off season and isn't stuff I can attack in prep. I'm in too much of a deficit to grow any muscle in specific areas. At times it has been hard to see maybe certain poses that I did like on my physique look completely different now. Do you know what, it's more shocking over hard, maybe shocking, because at the end of the day, I much prefer my physique on my body and my structure, just on myself in general, how it looks now over how it looked a year and a half ago, you know, or how it looked in Japan. If I compare a couple weeks out from Japan, like if I put any photos up as I'm talking here or anything, I actually look at them and I'm baffled. I'm like, wow. How? What? That's me? And I'm really excited to see the look I can bring. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, Christ, what happened to her? She's gone small. But if you really, really narrow down in on my physique and structurally, don't get me wrong, I know there's still a lot I need to improve. But over time, this is so much more suited and so much better for me. Anyway, I'm going to leave that ramble there and get to the gym, see my client, and see you in a bit. I am just on my way to the gym and I am going to film a little bit for you. Sessions at the moment, I'm not really getting a pump. At this point in prep, pumps are pretty much non-existent. I mean, I'm pretty much on 0 carbs bar. I think I have 20 on a training day, so I have 30 grams of oats, and that's literally it. Some people are going to think, what, that's insane and that's insanely low. However, that's what it takes for some people to get, you know, competition lean. You can't expect everyone to lose weight on the same calories, the same macros, the same methods. My body really needs to be starved. Every single prep's been the same, whether food's been pushed high with good body composition and off season or not, it's always been the same. That's just genetically how I function. I've always found that I put weight on and muscle weight quite easily. However, losing it, especially past a certain point, could just be like a genetic thing, the fat gene. But I don't really mind. I'm quite used to it. I know that's what it takes for me and I'm prepared to do it. I'm on 2 hours of cardio a day and we're 5 weeks out. I think past, like, maybe for the majority of people, past like 8 weeks out, you start hitting conditions and calories that really aren't sustainable for most people, and you can't believe that, you know, 1 week, 2 week out physique is sustainable all year round. It's really, really not. Like, this is primarily for a show, a bodybuilding show. If I was dieting for a holiday because I wanted to feel good, I would not push myself this hard. So just for the record for that. Coach says possible refeed on Monday, glute day. If I do have a refeed, I'll definitely log it for you guys. I'm not sure if we will, because she suggested one about a week ago, which then we didn't actually need. By refeed, I don't know whether she means refeed as in an off-plan meal or whether she means like a high day. I've only really done high days before when it's been coming to like my own preps. It will be good to see my physique a little bit filled out, see how that affects my physique. However, I might not need it. I had a really big weight drop this morning of just under 2 pounds, so it might not be needed. Might just keep driving and it will be fine, because mentally I don't really need one. I can keep going, although eventually it might get to the point where I'm like, oh gosh, I'm dying. But that is what it is. So yeah, there's a little update. Just on my way to the gym. We'll get a couple little clips for you, just what I'm doing on today's glute pump. It's quite late. I don't normally train this late. I probably would have normally started training about an hour ago, but I've had a really, really long day today. So just spent a bit of extra time at home and getting ready to train. And then, so I'm literally training and then locking up the gym right afterwards. I guess what I haven't really mentioned before, well, I sort of touched upon when I was in the car before, when you lose muscle and you train, you really feel the difference. That is a major impact mentally when it comes to losing muscle, is accepting that you will not be as strong. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, you can keep your strength and all of this, like not everyone with massive muscles is strong. The amount that I have lost, there is no way my lifts are going to be the same. I cannot squat 3 plates aside right now for 10 reps. I can't believe that I did it at one point, because when I have 100 kilos on my back now, I'm like, Christ, this is heavy. But I'm also trying to not put weight through my lower back. I don't want it any thicker. So like my exercise selection is very, very different. And I think I'll go through that in another video when I really hone in on the differences I've made to move into this class from the one that I was just in. So yeah, I'll go in on that on another video. And for now, I shall go and train. Just fast forwarding through this workout as it wasn't my best, and I'm going to leave some workout videos for you guys later on. So I did abductors today with the glute drive afterwards, followed by single leg on the Rogers hip press with a really low foot placement, then kickbacks, and lastly the hyperextension bench to really burn off my glutes. So training's done. And it's really, really late, as you can tell. So just got to lock up the gym, turn off the speakers, everything like that, because it's very loud. I don't normally train this late, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's pretty late. However, it was so late. So workout didn't really feel great in terms of energy, but filming it really helps for that motivation and that push. So just a bit of advice, if you find that you're in that dip in prep, filming your workout actually really helps push you through it. So guys, when I started vlogging this episode, I didn't really know what it was going to be about. Sometimes you just start vlogging and you go with it and you find whatever the theme goes with. And I've definitely realised that this has really been about how I've handled, maybe more mentally, the change in my physique in terms of muscularity and what it's actually like making such a big change. Because the thing is, when you decide to downsize and do a smaller muscularity class, you don't actually know how you look or how you feel until it's done, until the muscle is gone. It's not something you can just be like, yeah, I'll be okay with that. You have to go through the phase and the process and see yourself differently to really know what you struggle and what you don't struggle with. Definitely struggling in terms of I can't lift the same weight as I used to. I'm getting through that by just exercise selection, training for the different classes I stated before. It's just reminding myself that progress doesn't always mean building muscle. It can mean refining muscle, really pushing to my advantages of where my structure would lie. Like realistically, when you have a wider build, your ideal place would be in the women's physique class. When you have muscle on top of broad bone structure, you're gonna look even bigger. If you need more muscle for a class, you're gonna do better. It's why I did well in the figure class. It makes you look like there's more there. It is an advantage. However, I didn't want that. I didn't want that for my physique because of other issues. The wellness class wasn't really me. You know, I'm too broad here. The leg insertions, as I said, don't really match the criteria. And then as I've gone down into the bikini, I can really see my physique within it. There's just definitely things I still need to refine. And it's been really nice hearing people close to me actually see and agree. I had a few close friends message me saying I was really shocked when you mentioned bikini, but now I've seen you pose and I've seen these videos and I'm like, oh god, it really suits you. So that makes me really happy. I think that the structural advantage, well, is it an advantage? I don't know, but being structurally a bit wider has given the impression that my legs and upper body are already balanced, even though I know I've probably lost maybe a little bit too much muscle up here. I don't know, we'll see, or just have to play it by ear. It's hard because when someone looks at bodybuilding and competitive bodybuilding, you're always going to think of building muscle. And I guess I've done the opposite over the past year and a half. I've been intentionally losing it, and I guess it's not as common for people to do that and for women to do that, but I just want to show and prove to you guys that you can, and that doesn't mean you're not progressing within the competitive side of the industry or just in general. Training and adapting your physique to how you want it to look is always progressing. I understand that bodybuilding is building your body, however, just because I've decided to get smaller doesn't mean I'm going backwards. I could do the best I've ever done in these pro shows over time in this class than I would have ever done in wellness or figure or let's say physique. Yeah, I'll never know, but I'm happy with the decision that I've made and I truly believe it. Yeah, I just wanted to touch upon that at the end of this video to remind people that you don't just have to get bigger, especially as a female. There's a lot of pressures in it to get bigger, to get bigger. You do not have to get bigger to enjoy the sport. If you're considering going up a class, down a class, just consider all the variables, whether it's something you actually want to do or whether it's something you feel pressured to do. And I'm not saying everyone feels pressured and it's the same in every way. Of course I'm not. There might be off chance be someone in a similar situation, how I felt while I was in, and you can literally go in any direction you want to go in. It is completely up to you. So one of the hardest things I'm finding at the moment is I can't compare the weeks out I am to previous preps because my muscularity is so different. The conditioning I'm going for is different. Poses are different. That's really, really difficult. I'm going into my pro debut and I can't compare how this prep is going to any other prep I've done. So I feel like it's my first show, the first time I'm doing this, and it's going to be a big stage, so it's kind of daunting. That's obviously something I have to accept. That's really hard to deal with. Seeing myself look very different in each pose than when I last saw myself in it. But I look, so the only way to explain it is, let's say, okay, that bikini front shot very similar to the wellness side shot. Obviously it's executed differently. However, I think my bikini front shot now matches the class criteria more than my wellness side shot matched the wellness criteria. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So definitely know I'm progressing in the right direction for my physique. It's just hard not being able to compare the prep to how it's previously gone, to know how I'm feeling on track, because obviously conditioning, everything's different. But thank you guys for watching. I am actually on my next video now as I'm putting this one together. So I will have a couple for you guys pretty close together, which is good. So see you later.